What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video.
I rep the West to the death, but my life is better. I've shed blood, shed tears, man, I stormed bad weather. I caught an L at 19, that's a cold-ass letter. But now I'm back in the world and trying to make it better forever. They counted me out at a young age, but now I'm living proof. I'm in this booth, I'm spitting truth, you see me on the tube. The Dub Show, homies bounce and roll. The Dub Show.
Today is arraignment day. Now, before we get further into the case, let's talk about the players involved, the people involved. Manny, a.k.a. Sin City Manny Ruiz. Manny Ruiz, Rodney Finley the Great Finley, and Tanisha Bubbly Finley all found themselves for years caught up in a tit for tat, a back and forth over the internet, over YouTube. And unfortunately, on June 8th, the tit for tat came to an end, tragically and extremely violently. On that day, it's being alleged that Manny Ruiz gunned down Finley the Great and his wife, Bubbly. Unfortunately for Manny, he did it at the Bellagio, at the fountains. Hundreds, if not thousands, of tourists walking around, people with their phones in their hand. And Finley the Great was live. On the footage, we see Finley talking. We see Bubbly approach Manny and say whatever she said, and Finley turned around and he said whatever he said, and then we saw what happened next. This case is moving fast. So the double homicide occurred on June 8th, right? On June 11th, 3 days later, the grand jury indicted Manny. And on August 1st, the prosecutors filed a notice of intent to seek the death penalty. Now, today, Manny is going to basically complete his arraignment hearing. The original arraignment hearing was on July 17th. And it was during that hearing where the district attorney made it clear that they wanted to send it, and I want to make sure I read this right. They wanted the case to go to the Death Penalty Review Committee. And when they made that known, the arraignment had to be postponed. The case has gone before the Death Penalty Review Committee. In California, we don't have that. As far as I'm aware, we don't have that. I was charged in 1993. I was indicted. I had a grand jury indictment, and I was charged with the special allegation of lying in wait, and that carried the death penalty or life without the possibility of parole. So in Nevada, they must have a committee that they go through, and everybody allegedly reviews it. But today's hearing is to now formally charge Manny. He will be read his charges formally, and then he's going to formally give his plea. He's going to say not guilty, and it's already been said. I don't know if it was through his attorneys or who, but it's been alleged by Ruiz and his team that Ruiz thought that Bubbly had a weapon in her hand and that Finley the Great reached for his waistband. And that's why he responded the way he did. I'm going to start doing, you guys already know Gunners, the big channel, covering all this stuff. I'm going to be doing some stuff on this too. And, it's my platform is not to prosecute anybody. My platform basically is going to be this. As a former convict, as someone who faced the death penalty or life without, as someone who did over 24 years in the California Department of Corrections for a murder I committed at the age of 19, I'm going to give you my experience. Now, not only my experience, but my insight. I have to clarify that California and Nevada have different types of laws. The prison system is different. So bear that in mind when I give my opinion on stuff. You know, lately people during a live that Gunner and I did, people were asking if Sin City Manny was gonna get a DP. If he's gonna get a DP for his case. And on the live I asked, from who? And for what reason? Right now, Manny is in the county jail. Where he's housed and what type of housing it is, I don't know. But wherever he's at, he's around other people that are trying to beat their case. They're trying to get out of jail. They're trying to avoid a prison sentence. Sticking their nose in another man's business that has nothing to do with them is not going to help them go home. Now there always are those rogue characters, right? Somebody miserable enough to know they're never going to get out. Somebody facing a life sentence that they know it's a dead bang case. They know they don't have anybody on the streets willing to look out for them. They may feel there's going to be it could be lucrative for them to be the one to do something to Manny. There's always that. That's a rogue person. Anybody that has a high profile case, they can always be the victim of someone who has nothing and sees them as a way to garner some type of notoriety where people would write them, would send them money. While I know that there's a lot of people in the Las Vegas area, a lot of people that were supporters and subscribers of Finney the Great's channel who are passionate about this case and what they feel should happen, I don't see them taking care of somebody who goes rogue and goes after Manny for the rest of that guy's life. I just don't see it. Now, when we look at the videos, what video footage there is of Manny, he is a strange character. Very, very egomaniacal on the strip. With his friends, with his crew. With a gun. Well, he's all by himself now. And I highly doubt that he would be walking around that county jail anywhere inside of any kind of facility as if it's his. He's no longer on the strip. He's now in a world that's dog eat dog. Again, I don't know how Nevada's system is, but prison is prison. And there's going to be a pecking order of some sort. And Manny's going to find out where he falls in it. This case, Manny may be in the county jail for a long time. Because once he's arraigned today, then they're going to have to reschedule for whatever type of hearing is next. And reschedule, and reschedule, and reschedule. I was lucky. It's very few cases when it's a homicide case where you're in the county jail less than 2 years. I was in the county jail 16 months. I wanted to get my time and go to the joint, do my time. And so I got to get into my trial pretty quick. This being a capital murder, a death penalty case, I think Manny may be in the county jail 3 or 4 years. And so a lot of these videos that I'm going to wind up doing are probably going to be redundant. Hopefully not. Hopefully this case moves quick. I've said it already in lives when I've discussed this. I've said it in videos I've done about this. This is a slam dunk case. Manny Ruiz made up his mind that night. And so he should be, in his heart and mind, accepting of whatever comes next. And what's coming next is either life in prison on a deal or a death sentence if he goes to trial. Nevada, like California, does not execute those that they condemn. I don't understand why states that are not going to execute people have it on the plate, have it as an option. It's so expensive to the taxpayers to go through all that, and then the person has to be afforded appeals. And in a case like Manny's, where he does not have private counsel, taxpayers are paying for him to be prosecuted as well as defended. And taxpayers will continue to pay when he files appeals. They're paying for both sides of that. I don't agree with the death penalty. One reason is what I just mentioned was fiscally, I think it's irresponsible. But two, I think if people commit the worst type of crimes, then they should have to sit down for a while. I never expected to get out. The Anti-Recidivism Coalition, Scott Budnick, they got some laws changed. And thousands of lifers have left California prisons, re-entered society, and been very productive. So I believe in rehabilitation. Manny Ruiz would not fall under those laws. If those laws were moved to Nevada because of his age, he would be excluded. Anyways, that's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.